The name of Boruto's new Rasengan type jutsu yet again hints at his otherworldly training. Not only that, it seems like there is something about the Ten Tails army that only Boruto knows about. That's why he's asking Go to stop them. Could it be that Sasuke had died by the hands of the grime army, and that Boruto again saw the dark future, explaining his cold nature? Let's find out. The spoilers for the second chapter of Two Blue Vortex are officially out. This time we have got Sarada on the cover and it has been titled Tree. Not to mention, this title is referring to a very solid plot point that could change everything about the show. I will get there very soon, but let's first go back to the point where we left off last time. The chapter starts off with some serious conversation between Boruto and Code, where Boruto asks him to retreat and take his army with him, otherwise he won't hesitate to kill him. Code doesn't take Boruto seriously at first, but he soon realizes that he's not kidding. This reflects the nature of Momoshiki in Boruto, as the young lord is slowly inheriting the traits of the Otsutsuki. Momoshiki suffers from a superiority complex, and he even finds pleasure by seeing others in pain. The same traits are reflected in Boruto's persona, who has become too merciless at this point in the story. He is ready to get rid of Code permanently if he decides to not coordinate, which is completely different than how his father used to handle things. We then get to see a small interaction between Sarada and Boruto. He tells her to look for the people who failed to escape and help them out. Sarada got concerned for Boruto and asks him if everything is fine. Boruto responds by saying we will talk about that later and she must focus on surviving first. This could possibly be a hint of Boruto's foresight power, and I have already discussed that in a previous video. It's very much possible that Boruto saw a future where the Ten Tails created Rampage, and that's why he's asking Sarada to survive. Cause if things continue like he had foreseen, most people might end up dying. It's also revealed that Boruto knows the true horrors of the Ten Tails, and that's why he tells Code to retreat. The only way Boruto would come to know about the secret of the grime army could be either through some Otsutsuki or by peeking into the future. What I think is that Code is about to take the next big L, as his army will betray him all of a sudden, making it a nightmare for everyone in Konoha. Right now they are following Code's orders, but if they end up getting conscious of their own will, it would be horrific for the whole shinobi world. The thing which adds fuel to the fire is the fact that some of them have awakened the Rasengan as well. If the Claw Grimes actually end up killing everyone thanks to their Rasengan, it's very likely that the meaning of Rasengan, which means the Samsara eye, could come into play here. The cycle of birth, death and reincarnation is known as Samsara, so maybe everyone who dies in the ongoing conflict will get revived sometime in the future. Another reason for Boruto to see the Claw Grimes as the big bad news can be traced in this scene where a Jonin saves Sarada's life and gets submerged into a tree. The name of this chapter also hints at this event, so it could be that the grime army is turning into mini divine trees to harvest chakra. Now whether the harvested chakra will go to Code or will formulate small chakra fruits is still a mystery. Let me know what you think about this in the comments. Further, the chapter takes us to Kawaki and Himawari, and a really massive detail is revealed regarding the Vortex of Fate. Himawari apparently gets in trouble and Kawaki appears out of nowhere to save her. She thanks Kawaki by calling him brother, but what's interesting is that he tells her to not call him that. He even asks Himawari that how many times is he supposed to make her understand this. It seems like Kawaki has revealed the truth of omnipotence to Himawari, which explains her doubts from the last chapter. It could be that she ain't able to digest the new reality, but the amount of faith that she has on Kawaki made her question her own memory. This instance also makes it clear that Kawaki wasn't jealous about Boruto's life, otherwise he would have rejoiced Hima calling him his big brother. It's more of a situation based thing where Kawaki had to become Boruto for the sake of protecting Naruto and not for the validation and benefits that come with it. Kawaki is the goal driven person who knows exactly what he wants. He could have chosen to live the life of luxury after switching places with Boruto, but all he ever wanted was to keep his godfather safe. Momoshiki was the driving force for Kawaki that made him wish for Boruto to be an outsider. Otherwise, he never wanted to be the son of Naruto at first place. He only wanted Boruto to be someone like him, whose demise would have no significance. Subscribe if you think Kawaki is still a good guy. Soon after the grime with the Rasengan smacks Kawaki down, it has also been revealed that this Claw grime is superior and different than others. That's why Kawaki had a hard time dealing with him. He used his karma to get rid of him, and I don't think it was an absorption power, cause it's impossible to absorb these beings due to the modification by Code. Boruto used his sword to cut off many grimes, and Sarada used Chidori to deal with them. She even used the fire style jutsu, which indicates she has also done ample amount amount of training. I was expecting her to use the Mangekyou in this chapter, but just as Boruto's new power shall be unveiled in the next chapter, it's very likely that Sarada's Mangekyou will be in action at that time as well. Another thing I noticed is that there is hardly any moment of Boruto where he loses the hold of his sword. Maybe it's because Sasuke is actually sealed inside of this weapon, and when Boruto strikes it with another object, the clash affects his mentor as well. This would also explain why Kawaki did not shrink it in the future. And if Sasuke is actually alive, it must be inside the sword of Boruto where he is residing. Finally, let's talk about the new ability of Boruto that I think is a powerful Shinjutsu. When I read the early spoilers, I thought Boruto is about to awaken the Jogun at the end of this chapter and the leakers are just hiding it. But it turns out that this new power of Boruto is a variation of the Rasengan that he has learned over the time skip. The ability has been named Uzuhiko, which translates to Vortex Boy or Uzumaki Prince. The power was referred to as the Rasengan Uzuhiko, which means it's a Vortex inspired power similar to the Vanishing Rasengan. Now whether it's an ability or a transformation will remain a mystery till the next month. However, there are not one but two clues about this Uzuhiko ability, which confirms the theory of Boruto going to the space for training. The side text reads, alienated and hunted by his hometown, what new power did Boruto learn on the other side of the world? The other side of the world could refer to the moon where Boruto had went to train, and another big hint to justify this statement comes from the literal meaning of Uzuhiko. It translates to universe, spirit or intelligence, and considering the other hints that we have seen in the story so far, it seems like Boruto had actually went to train into the universe during the time skip period. Not to mention when he was calling out the name of this power, Core thought he's using the same old move, but then he added Uzuhiko with it and a vortex started forming around his body. It could be that this technique is an embodiment of the Rasengan as a transformation, which grants the user super speed just like the flying region. This would link the legacy of Boruto to his grandfather Minato, and the fact that he might be called the Uzumaki Prince now makes it an even bold possibility. The wind is covering his body like a vortex, which hints at this technique applying wind release to the body. We have seen characters in the Narutoverse applying lightning and magma release to their bodies before, so it could be that this technique is similar to those powers as well. It's not necessary for this ability to be a variation of the Rasengan just because it has Rasengan in its name. The Rasengan translates to a spiraling spear, and we already know the importance of the vortex in the story, from the title of the time skip out of the series to having significance in the Minato manga. I wonder how come Kishimoto was able to pull off the Rasengan's backstory so perfectly in the Minato one shot and then build up the whole story of the time skip on the concept of the vortex. What if Minato hadn't won the poll for the one shot manga? How would have Kishimoto done this massive foreshadowing with some other character? It seems like he has already written the backstories of many characters just like Minato, and he was confident that the 4th Hokage will win this poll, so he used it as a golden chance to foreshadow the title and the recurring concept of his upcoming manga. He has now honored Boruto as the Uzumaki Prince, and this ability has teased the other side of the world, which would explain a lot about his glow up. Remember what I said in the beginning about Boruto's foresight power. The kind of development that he has underwent is way too similar to Eren Yeager from Attack on Titan, who also saw a predestined future that was unchangeable. It could be that he already knows about the number of casualties and the dark events that are approaching very soon. Find out more about the foresight power of Boruto in this video, and don't forget to subscribe for more amazing stuff. I will see you next time.